Hey, what's up, guys? As you can see right here, had an unfortunate mishap with my bike. That happened actually, you probably seen in other videos, that actually happened the day I got it. But I'm kind of tired of looking at it, so I went and bought some new levers. And today I'm going to show you guys how to put them on. It's extremely simple, like very, very easy. And it's pretty much the same thing for every single bike. So, let's get started. Never actually done this before, but it looks like all I'm going to need after looking at it. A 10mm socket with a wrench, flathead screwdriver, the new levers obviously, and some white lithium grease. The grease, all it's for is anytime you have metal on metal contact, you want smooth operation. So use some white lithium grease to make sure it maintains, the lubrication doesn't get jammed up or stuck. But I mean, this is overkill. You're only going to need like a little bit when you do it. Let's do this. Actually, let's bust these open and we'll talk about the differences. You are also going to need a knife to cut the stupid tape. Voila! The differences you're going to have. You can tell this one's going to be your clutch lever, because if you look underneath, there's a little hole, like a groove that goes through the side of it, and then almost like a ball shape right there. That's going to hold your actual clutch lever in. So you can tell that one is actually your clutch lever, and you can see the size difference. Even with it broken, it's about the same size. So this one's going to be your brake lever. You'll see when I take the other one off, it's going to have something similar to this portion right here, and you can see how much shorter it's going to make it, and they look a lot better than the stock version. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and do the clutch side first. It's going to be the hardest. Go ahead and back this all the way out. So you're going to have a little bit of play right here when you actually do it. You want that play because you're going to have to be able to turn your clutch lever upside down to get the actual clutch cable off the lever. And this side just has the actual bolt on the top. Get it loose. If you got fat hands like me, it's going to be kind of a pain. Whenever you're doing this, it's important. Make sure you don't lose them. Don't lose your parts, obviously. Alright, now let's go ahead and wiggle this out. Turn it upside down, turn your cable, and slide the clutch cable out. Easier said than done. Alright. That's literally all there is to taking it off. Now, when you do this, you can see the difference in the holes right here. So this one actually has a bushing in it. You're going to want to take that bushing out, clean it up, and put it back in your new one. Ooh, already ready already. Now, I recommend when you're doing this, buy the small tube, because it's going to be a lot easier to apply. This is going to be super messy, so get the small tube, don't get the big can. I just had this around. And you can see it's way too much. Put a little bit of grease on there. And I'm going to get it all over my brand new levers. Slide the new bushing in, or the old bushing, sorry. And wipe my hands off. All right, once you have a little bit of grease on there and the bushing back into the new lever, what you want to do is turn it upside down. And the same way you did, motherfucker. Same way you got it out, you want to put that clutch lever back in, or the clutch cable, sorry. So, you can see, basically, you're going to have to pull it out a little bit and slide it in. Once you get it in place, rotate it through, Turn your lever over and then slide it back into place. So I get to clean my bike again. Yay! Alright. Grease is in place. Now underneath, your bike might have this little lever right here. Basically, it just doesn't allow you to start your bike while the clutch isn't pulled in. So that lever, kind of push it out of the way and slide it into place. Once you get it in place, slide your bolt in. Now for the pain in the ass part. Putting the nut back on while your fingers are greasy. Get it started, and you can push it up, screw the top in. Makes it a lot easier. Alright. Now just bolt it back down. These you don't really need to torque them to any specifications. Just make sure they're tight, not gonna fall off, and then check them for the next couple of days while you ride periodically to make sure they're not coming loose on you. Whatever you do, do not apply Loctite to these, like ever. It's probably the worst thing you can do is apply Loctite to any brakes or clutch or anything like that. No Loctite at all. Clutch lever's back in place. And then you can tighten this however much you want. So you have less play, no play, a little bit of play, whatever you're used to riding. And then you can use your adjustable levers to adjust how far away from the handle they are. So if you got big hands, go with the 5 or 6. If you got smaller hands, you can go to the 1, and it just closes the gap right here. So there you go. All right, brake lever. All we're gonna do, put your screwdriver in. Now underneath, you want to find that black bolt right there. And just undo it. Same thing, slide your brake lever off, and you can see, pretty similar. So it's pretty easy to figure out which one's which. Clutch lever has the hole in the bottom where the clutch cable goes, and the brake lever has this piece right here, which is actually going to press back down here. So pretty easy to determine the two. Before you slide it in there, get a little bit of grease on it. That's way too much. Gonna wipe off the excess a little bit. I'll clean them up once I get them all on there. Got this piece lined up here. Once I get the nut into place, move that cable again. Oh, And same thing, just get it pretty tight. Not crazy tight, just tight enough. And voila, new levers. And then just wipe off the excess grease. Now, probably the most important part of replacing brake and clutch levers, always test them before you go for a ride. Make sure they work. So that's what we're going to do now. All you got to do to test them, just let on your clutch a little bit, squeeze your brake. All right, don't overdo it, but give it a little tug to see. Something you need to understand, you're gonna have to take it slow, first couple of times you ride, because due to the fact that you changed them, it is going to alter the way you brake and clutch a little bit, primarily your brake. If you get some new levers on here, it's gonna feel a little different when you go to apply pressure. So typically what it is, because it's a shorty, you're more apt to grab the brake and apply way too much pressure, where it's gonna make you do a stoppie, as vice normally your old clutch lever or your old brake lever, you're used to how much pressure it's going to take to stop you. So take it easy for a little while, get used to it, try it out. Make sure you try it out before you get too crazy with it. Just get used to it again.